Yo, brothers, Medley here for Medley Games. Just messing around. Yeah, as you can tell, I'm wearing my Hulkamania bandana, and there's a wrestling ring here in front of me. Reason for it is because I am going to be talking about a wrestling game, not only any wrestling game, but WWF's very first WWF Wrestlemania from Acclaim for the NES. This game's really cool, man. Quite honestly, a lot of people give it bad rep because they don't know how to play it. And yeah, it can be quite challenging. It has that arcade challenge, but it's really fun once you get the hang of it. You start winning matches and it starts to become quite fun. The memories behind it when it comes to it, I remember my cousins, they used to own this game, It's the first time you get to be Hulk Hogan, you get to be the Macho Man Randy Savage, Andre the Giant, Honky Tonk Man, $1 Million Man, Bam Bam Bigelow. All these guys, it's the very first time you get to be them, and I mean, right on the cover you get to see Hulk Hogan there. How cool is that? So at the time, of course, everybody knew the Hulkster. For me, I was born after this era. I'm not from this era, but I did grow up with a lot of this stuff. And my cousins, since they were older cousins, of course they knew who Hulk Hogan was, so they went ahead and bought the game. But they hated it so much. They were always so angry about it, like, I don't want to play that game. It's too hard, I can't figure it out. And they would constantly lose, and they would be like, this game's terrible. And I would look at them and I'm like, there has to be a way to win this game. There has to be a way to get a victory. There has to be the proper way to play it. And so I ended up figuring it out. It's pretty cool. And so let's start talking about the game. When it comes to health in the game, first things first, it's very much like modern games. When it comes to the health, the health meter, it's not only a health meter, but it's also a stamina bar. So when it comes to it, immediately people start to play the game and they start button mashing and they start kicking and punching and kicking and punching, and they start chasing after the opponent because the opponent is going to be trying to get away from you as much as they can. There are ways to lure them in, but which we'll talk about in a moment. But they do tend to try to stay away from you. So when it comes to it, do not chase after them, because the more you chase after them and the more you button mash, your health will start going down quite quickly. Next thing you know, you're going to be like, why is my health lower than my opponent's when I've been running around beating them up the whole time? Well, that's the reason, because you keep going around wasting your energy. So when your health meter starts to go down, in order to recover, just back off. Stay away from them a little bit, stay away from the enemy and just stand in place, and your health will start regenerating. Another thing that will definitely help will be on the very top screen of the top area of the wrestling ring. You will notice that people will start throwing little objects according to what wrestler you're using. So, for example, if you're using Hulk Hogan, you're going to be seeing his signature golden necklace, the one that Andre the Giant ripped and led to WrestleMania 3. That little necklace, you're gonna see it there, so you try to grab it. Same thing with all the other characters. Macho Man, they throw his signature glasses in the ring. Andre the Giant, they throw food. Honky Tonk Man, they throw little guitars. Things like that will let you know that that's for your character, and that'll help boost up your energy. But remember, that goes for the enemy as well. So they will try to prevent them from getting in. So now when it comes to the moves, let's go ahead and check it out. Let's go ahead and check out some moves right now. Okay guys, so this is a example of the moves. So when it comes to punching and kicking, A is punching, B is kick. If you press up and A, you will perform a headbutt, as you can see right here with Hogan. A and B at the same time, that gives you a body slam. And then you can go into running mode, as you can see here, by pressing the directional arrow and A at the same time, and that'll get you into running mode. Right here, as you can see, to do a back elbow, if you turn your back on your opponent and press A and B at the same time, you'll make that move. Now, in order to get on the turnbuckle, the way he did there is when you get into running mode towards the turnbuckle, right before you get to the turnbuckle, press B, and that'll get you on top of the turnbuckle, and you'll be able to perform that flying move off the top rope. Some wrestlers have different moves, like for example, Bam Bam Bigelow and Ted DiBiase, they pin with A and down. Most of the other characters, though, they all use down B, as you can see here, in order to pin, and that'll guarantee you your victory. Okay, so definitely one thing you need to know when it comes to the status of your characters. There are certain wrestlers that whenever, let's say for example, if you're facing Andre the Giant, that he's the best example. If you're facing Andre the Giant and you start beating him up, he will start turning red. When he starts turning red, that means he's angry, so you got to stay away from him because he kind of becomes a little vulnerable when he's in that state. Same thing goes if you choose Andre the Giant and you're playing as him and your opponent starts beating you up, you will turn red, and you got to take advantage of that moment in order to be able to get things going there. Okay, so when it comes to kicking out, in order to be able to kick out, you don't have to button mash, because a lot of people commit the mistake of button mashing, and nothing happens, and you don't kick out and you lose the match. So when it comes to it, even if you got a little bit of health, sometimes you may kick out. All you got to do is press up, the up arrow, button mash that up arrow, and that should let your character kick out of the pinfall. So yeah, guys, this was WrestleMania for WrestleMania by Acclaim for the NES. Again, really fun game. I highly recommend it if you're a WWF fan of the golden era of the WWF. Really cool to see where it all began. You know, really cool to see the talent that's in this video game. It would have been cool if, I mean, I love the graphics. I really love the graphics. Like, super cool. I just wish they had worked it a little bit more, you know, maybe added some moves and later releases instead of completely changing the way it looked, because this game, man, it looks really cool. Like the ring and the whole thing, it feels like the WWF, you know. It's a really cool game. Definitely recommend it. Pretty cheap nowadays. You can catch it, you can get it on eBay for fairly cheap, around like $5 to $6. But yeah, definitely we'll go ahead and talk more wrestling games later on. But for now, thank y'all for watching this video. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell. And as Hulk Hogan would say, what you gonna do when Medley runs wild on you? See you later.